So hopefully you are all set up with MAMP and you have your web server started. We know where our document root is, so now it's time to just speak about text editors, and then we're going to create our first couple of PHP files. So in terms of a text editor then, you're going to need a text editor like Sublime Text or Atom. Now these are fairly similar. I happen to be using Sublime Text, so I'm going to be using that throughout the series. But it really doesn't matter what you use. There are other text editors, and if you're already using a text editor, then feel free to use which one you feel comfortable with. Okay, so once you have downloaded either Sublime Text or Atom, just so you know, Atom is free and Sublime Text is free, but you have to purchase a license to remove a intermittent warning as you save files. So there's not really too much difference here, but I'm going to be using Sublime Text. So once you have downloaded either of these, I'm going to go ahead and just open this up. So this is now Sublime Text. And what we're going to do is create a new file, save it in our document root, and then we can access that from within our browser at this URL just here. So let's create our first file then. So I'm going to create a new file here, and I'm going to save this out immediately. What we're going to do is we're going to come over to our applications. We're going to come over to MAMP, so that's where our document root is, remember, and we're going to come over to htdocs. So this is where all of our files are served from. So the first file I'm going to create is one.php. You can call this anything you like, but I'm just doing this to demonstrate. So inside of here then, if we just go and make sure this is saved out, head over to the browser and refresh, you can see that file in there now. So we can click on that, and we're now inside of a PHP file. Any code we write in here, we will see the result of that inside of the browser. Now, what we can also do, if we just head back, is create a new file, and I'm going to demonstrate the index.php file. Now, throughout the series, I'm going to be working with an index.php file, and there's a subtle difference between the naming of this and any other file. So let's save this out in the same directory, and let's head over to the browser and now refresh on here. Now you'll notice that we get a blank screen. What's actually happened is Apache has picked up on the fact that you have an index.php file within your directory, and it's automatically running this despite the fact it's not in the URL. So for example, what I can do is I can come over to index.php manually, like so, and we're now on the same file. So this here is the same as this if we have a file called index.php. But what we can also do is access one.php on its own, and we're now within one.php, and anything we write in there, again, we will see in the browser. So let's test this out with index.php, and then we'll go ahead and update one.php as well. So inside of index.php, I'm going to start by creating a starting PHP tag. This is a less than sign, a question mark, and then the text PHP. We're going to come down a couple of lines, and we're going to go and echo something out. So echo will basically output to the page. Very, very simple. So within single or double quotes, and we'll speak about outputting a bit later and the difference between single and double quotes, we end the line with a semicolon. Most commands or lines in PHP, we end with a semicolon. We'll get used to this later on as we look at more things we can do with PHP. So in here then, we're going to just say hello, and that is it. So this is now a valid PHP file, and it's going to go ahead and output hello to that page. Let's go over to the browser and refresh, and we see the text hello. Brilliant. So now if we come over to index.php, this proves that when we land on this, it's the same as directly accessing index.php. It's the same file. But what we can also do is if we have other files, we can come over to these as well. So one.php, we know that we haven't written any code in there, so we can go and update this as well just to get used to this. So again, let's start out our PHP file with our PHP tag, and let's go and echo out something in here. So let's just say one, just so we know which file it is. So over to the browser, give that a refresh, and we see the following. So we can now access the two files that we've created and saved inside of our document root. So for this course then, this is pretty much all you're going to need to know about creating files. I'm going to be mainly working inside of an index.php file, but we are going to be creating some directories. We're going to be creating some more files, but now you know exactly how to do this, and we can get on with the rest of the course.